Hello guys, in this lecture we'll look at the HTML styles. Well, the HTML style attribute is used to add styles to elements such as the font style. You could add the color style, you could add the size style, just as you would in a Microsoft Word or a word processor of your choice. And you would see that you could change the font size and also change the font, whichever font is available to you in your word processor. Say Times New Roman or Times New Roman, Courier, Sans Serif. So whatever font is available to you on Microsoft Word or any word processor you use, you could also change that, and you could also change the color of your text, right? So same applies here in HTML when creating an HTML document, right? So the style attributes helps us change the styles of the content in our elements. All right, let's begin. Now we'll have the full HTML page structure. So we'll just type HTML. If you use Atom, type HTML and hit the tab key. All right, now I discussed all about this in my previous tutorial. So if you've not watched my previous tutorial, please go to the description below and see the previous tutorials. All right, I also didn't mention this. I will talk about this eventually, so please stick to this channel and we'll talk about this. All right, now I need to have a title. So in our title we'll just have HTML styles, right? So you know that this is what will appear here, right? So now in our body, so we could just have a header. Let's say header 1. So this is heading, right? Then we'll have a paragraph. Now I need a bunch of text, right? I wouldn't want to type text, so I'll just type in lorem and hit my tab key, right? Now this automatically gives me a bunch of text that I can use, right? So if you use Atom, I think it's a nice thing to do. But if you use other text editor, does Sublime support it? I'm not sure about Sublime, but I'm probably sure about VS Code. So you could just type the lorem and press your tab key, and some bunch of text will be displayed, right, as you've seen it. All right, now we have this bunch of text. I need to change the look of a section or a part of this text, right? I need to increase the size of this, and I need to make it bold. Now to do that, we just introduce an inline tag, right? So an inline tag is these are tags that can be used within, right, an element without creating a new line or without forming a new line, just as the paragraph element and what we call the div element. All right, so we'll just use the strong elements. The strong element, just as the bold works in Microsoft Word, so is the strong element, right? So I cut this and paste here, and I need to style this text. So I'll just say style, right? Oh, sorry, style and style attribute. Now this style attribute is the value of this, the attribute value here is what we call the CSS property and property value. So let's have that. So we have the color So in CSS, this is what we call a property name, the color, and we have the color, let's just say yellow, and we have the property value, right? So here's the property name and here's the property value. So if you were to write in CSS, now this is how it will be done with some additional, syntax, but this is the core property name, and here's a property value, right? So I save and reload. Oh, this is from the other page we open. So let's change this to about.html. Oh, really? Did I save this? I'm so sorry. You know what? Let me just go to my folder and grab that file. So I'll go to my desktop. I think I saved the file here. No, not here. Tutorials, HTML. Alright, so I'll just double click on this and have it there. Alright, now here we go. There's the heading, and we just changed this. Yellow is a bit shouting. Let's have red. Okay, here we go. Now you can see now it is bold and the color has changed to red, right? Also, you could give this text a background color, right? So let's have a style in the paragraph here, paragraph start tag here. So we'll say style. Why can't I type style? Let's have a background color. That will be the property. Oh, come on, background color, and let's call this gray. Save and reload. Now here you go. So the background color is gray, and the color of this text still remains red, right? So let's look at the font size. Now say for instance I want to increase the text size of one of these texts, right? Say for the last word, I'll just have to include another inline tag, or you know what, I'll just create another paragraph, so not to muddle things up. Alright, I'll create another paragraph and write increased text size. Oh, come on, why can't I spell? Then let's change let's increase the font size. So the property name is font size, right? Then a colon, and let's have the value. The font size will be, and they will all be in pixels, right? Or percentage, right? Some developers use pixels, so let's try this. Reload. Now you see 16 pixels. Let's try to increase this to 90 pixels. You see, right? We could also increase or reduce this to 60 pixels. Now you see. Okay, you could also use percentage here, right? You could say 600%, right? Depending on your measurement, 100%. You could say 300%. There you go. All right. When in the later videos, I will explain. When we get to our CSS videos, we'll explain what all of this means, right? All right. The next thing is to look at HTML fonts, right? So we could decide to change this font, right? So let's have another heading. heading 2, and so this is heading 2, and I need to change the font of this heading, so I just add my style attribute, then the property will be font family, right, and a semicolon. Then just as you have in your Microsoft Word, where you have the font family of Times New Roman, we have sans serif. So we have some font family too in HTML and in general. So you could also go to Google and check Google Fonts, right? So you get to see some of those fonts that Google provides, right? So the one that will be available on your system could be the Courier. I think that's the default, the Courier font. So let's reload. Okay, here you go. So here's the Courier font, right? You can see it's kind of different from this, right? So I don't know if, let's try sans serif. I think this should be available. Yeah, it is. So here's sans serif, right? So let's try Verdana. Let's see. Oh, beautiful. Now you could look up some fonts, a family, and give them a try over here, right? You can see we're changing our text font. We've already changed the text color, and we looked at the text size, and now we're changing the text font, right? So now let's move over to aligning our text, right? Just as you have in the Microsoft Word, you Control E to align, to justify, to move to the right, and stuff like that. All right, finally let's look at text align. So let me copy this over here and paste here. So I will just need to change this to text align, right? So in column, I want this text to be centered, so I'll just have center, right? And change this to centered heading, centered heading. All right, save and reload. Now you can see our heading is centered. You could also center the paragraph, so I'll just copy this and paste here. So let's change this to centered paragraph. So change this to centered paragraph. Alright guys, that's all about the HTML styles. See you in the next video.